Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 4th season of the NASCAR Class C Fixed Maconi Fixed Series. This evening we are excited to be bringing you the top of the action from the weekly strength and field race here on this lovely, beautiful Wednesday night from a virtual Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you all the action from all types of racing, including the top split of the Maconi C Fixed Series, the Road to Pro Series, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is ARCA Menard Series driver Brayton Laster, and joining me in the booth is Jeremy Briggs of DJ Line, working the controls as our producer. Jeremy, we are a fan favorite tonight and a staple on this schedule here for Season 4. Iowa Speedway offers a ton of lanes, a ton of grip for these drivers to choose from. What do you think we can expect to see here tonight?
Man, with these foggy conditions, so there should be some low track temps. These drivers are going to be searching for grip everywhere. I expect to see drivers going high, going low. The progressive banking here that goes from 12 to 14 degrees is very adaptive for these drivers, and they can really make passes. And hopefully this 0.085 mile track really leads to some good racing here tonight.
Yeah, definitely coming in right there around that 3/4 of a mile mark. It has the short Legends Oval as well. This track, very unique in a sense. It's kind of like a cookie cutter like Auto Club, but it's a very small, like you mentioned, that track size there. You never really get that steering wheel straight going down the main straightaway. You see the schedule there, race number 5 here, nearing the halfway point of Season 4 in the 2024 schedule here. So we've gone to Bristol, we've gone to Kansas, we've gone to Talladega, we've gone to Vegas, and now Iowa, the first short track. I guess you can call Bristol a short track. It's just a very, very fast short track compared to the rest of the schedule.
It certainly is, and man, there's a lot of diversity in the rest of the schedule. As we take a look at these point standings, the Maconi Setup Shop C Fixed Series. Dean Brummett, obviously up top right now at 12:05. As you can see, the rest of the top 10 there: Keaton Jones, Justin Botello, Clayton, I cannot pronounce his last name, and Dakota Long is your top 5. As these drivers have, I believe we're almost halfway through this season, and man, time is flying.
Yeah, see Dean Brown. They are actually won the Season 4 championship back in 2023. So he's been a year separated from that championship, trying to go back to the championship standings as far as being the one crowned champion at the end of the night. So qualifying is starting to wrap up, and we mentioned the very, very, very foggy track conditions. We'll see those here in just a second, but 60 laps for tonight to race 45 miles. And let me tell you, we mentioned that multi-groove racing, it's definitely going to come into play here tonight.
I'm really excited to see how these drivers play out, as I believe qualifying has finished up. The lineup should be available.
See there, Jaden Carter getting the pole, starting on the front row. To his outside, going to be Everett A. Smith, Dean Brown, your points leader. Behind those two there in 3rd, Dakota Long there in 4th. Andrew J. Sharp in 5th. Tommy Ramanucci in 6th, Tobin Keith in 7th, Austin Kurtner in 8th, Brad Newman there in 9th, and Zach Pangerell rounding out your top 10, Jeremy.
Matt Kocher right there on the outside looking into the top 10 and 11th. Jesse Roten in 12th. Caleb Johnson's in 13th, with Travis Wilson in 14th. 15th is Connor Truman. 16th is Jeffrey Maconi. 17th is Latham Joyner. 18th, is Wyatt Gray. Brandon Trubrooco there is 19th. These drivers did not take times. Derek Winter 20th, Jay Riot 21st, Nathan Davis 22nd, Chris Gutierrez 23rd, and Jonathan Taylor 24th also did not take a time, as we should be getting ready to go green here shortly once these drivers get gridded up. This is going to be one heck of a race.
Still about 40 seconds left to grid, and a quick tidbit here for those who aren't regularly viewing these Wednesday night races. For those that have missed the first couple of weeks of the S.O.F coverage, this is iRacing's version of the cream of the crop, where all the top drivers expect to compete not only for race wins but for division championships and the overall title for the series. With this being mentioned, the S.O.F race. When we say S.O.F race, this is the highest ranked race being ran at this hour, 7:15 Eastern on Wednesday nights. We're here every Wednesday night. So if you are a high enough iRating, you are more than welcome to try and hop in and see the race analysis there. Pit road speed of 40 miles an hour, slow rolling, 1 green white checker, no faster pairs, and a beautiful fixed setup here for the Maconi C Fixed Series. And 60 laps, we talked about a little bit ago, 45 miles. It's going to go by quick if we don't see that caution flag. That's going to be a big if, though.
Big if. See if these drivers can do it. As you can see, very overcast. Air temperature only 66 degrees Fahrenheit with a track temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Southwest wind at 16 miles an hour. I don't know if the vortex theory works on iRacing, but I don't know if these cars are going around to help lift the fog, but definitely be a little hard to see here from the booth. But I'm excited. One thing I've really enjoyed about these top splits, you never who you're going to run into. I believe last week we had a Cup Series driver in the top split.
I said, yeah, we see a lot of drivers from the NASCAR series. We'd have Parker Reddick, have Roger Caruth, and every now and then we'll get even a Cup Series driver here coming down, having fun, getting seat time. And that's a great thing about iRacing is, it's used by a tool from the professionals to go and get that experience, get the seat time. I've ran an Arkham Menard series race here. 2023, I used iRacing to get used to the track, to get adjusted to it. It's a little bit different now. They've repaved it in the past year or so. It's a little bit different than the iRacing version, but I think it's going to allow for better racing here on iRacing. So, field is slow rolling, 50 miles an hour is the pace speed down the back straightaway, getting ready to go green for 60, hopefully 60 laps of racing. We have that green light check if we need it. My name is Brayton Laster. Jeremy Briggs is joining me in the booth, the DJ line working the controls, and you are watching Maconi Entertainment. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a great time. Green flag getting ready to fly. Jaden Carter on the front row. Everett Smith is outside, and green flag is out.
Shifting through the gears, just past the start-finish line. Drivers starting to fan out. That progressive banking already up to the third line, almost 4 wide up here towards the front.
You see the battle for the lead already starting to heat up. Jaden Carter gets out front, but Dean Brummett looking to the inside in that 3 machine, wrapping that yellow line like the pros, and he's trying to get a lead on lap 1. He might just get there.
Lap 1 is complete, clean and green. Everybody's rolling. Still side by side for the lead. These 3 trucks have a slight breakaway from the field, but we'll see how it pans out. We still have a long ways to go.
That's Everett A. Smith in the 8. Dean Brummett falls back to 3rd in the 3 truck, and Jaden Carter pulling away in the number 1. See the battle back here behind them. 3, 4 wide through the final set of corners there, and they are stacking up big time on this outside. Brad Newman in that bright number 2 truck running the bottom, but you got Tobin Keefe and Andrew J. Sharp is outside in the 24.
Not sure if the green truck right now is slightly holding this pack up, but everybody is definitely trying to figure out a way. Right now, the top lane seems to be the way to go. We'll have to see how it progresses through the rest of this race. As like I said, those 3 trucks have driven away. As you can see, this pack right here, though, everybody's trying to get every position they can.
That's Tommy Ramanucci in that 17 green machine leading the second pack here. To see the leaders just how much they've been able to pull away last time at the line. About a second advantage goes to those top 3 drivers, Jaden Carter, Everett Smith. Trouble in the back, number 14 is around. That's Derek Winter, slow and low on the track. You'll have to get it back rolling again. There's a little small burnout here. He's still off the racing surface, so no caution yet. He's up to speed, so this should not be a yellow flag.
Take a look at the replay. We catch just the end of it here. It looks like he just got a little sideways, holding the brake right there, trying not to make contact with anything. Looks like he was just off the track enough. iRacing did not call a caution.
Yeah, he had a little bit of help from Wyatt Gray. He got a little bit loose coming off the corner, and Gray had nowhere to go. So a bit of a racing incident, no harm, no foul. But this driver's able to keep it rolling. And let me tell you, he's really rolling. Jeffrey Maconi up 6 spots. See him that number 6 truck there, wrapping the bottom. Yellow flag is out for the first time tonight.
16 on the backstretch, it looks like.
That's Connor Truman around. He's running in the 21st spot at the time of caution. You see him running the high line there, gets a little bit loose, and a heavy overcorrect.
Man, that might be night ending right there.
No fast repairs, no instant fixes for these drivers, so crews have to get busy under the hood of that one. See this? It's very bumpy in the middle and upper grooves of this track, both in real life and on iRacing. Just shows the realism of it. It's very easy for the rear end to step out from underneath you, and that's exactly what happened to Connor Truman. Truman is still rolling, albeit with a black, or not with a black flag, but with a meatball flag, forcing him to get repairs on number 16 truck. But so far, it's been all Jaden Carter out front.
Yes, Jaden Carter is now our leader. Everett Smith right there in second as the 24 now makes the trip down pit road. The number 5, the number 16, and the number 21 all coming down pit road.
couple guys trying to maybe play some pit strategy as far as tire sets go. They do have 2 in the pits if they need them. Let's see exactly what these drivers do. I see one driver, that's Dakota Long, coming down getting right sides. No left sides yet. Same with Andrew Sharp. So those guys getting right side tires, maybe help with that looseness and maybe give them that advantage to work their way up through the field.
You just mentioned there, Andrew Sharp, I believe, started in the 5th position. Now finds himself pretty far in the back here. Not sure if he got involved in an incident or just not handling right here in the beginning.
Now, you mentioned a lot of drivers in that second pack were electing to run the high lane. And I noticed a couple were really working the bottom. They were making it work. There from Maconi, I talked about right before that caution, up 6 spots. Dean Brummett, though, little caution on board action with him. He was, excuse me, he was trying to get that that lead and extend that points lead on that first lap. Fell back to 3rd though.
Dean Brummett, our leader in the points, trying to come away with another win and try to win himself another season championship. Just like I said earlier on, we're almost, I believe, halfway through the season already, and the real life stuff, just a few moments or just a few weeks left in the real life stuff. And man, look at this view. Our blimp cannot see anything up here, Brayton.
I mean, I think our blimp driver doesn't even know if he's at the right track, to be honest. He could be at Homestead for all we know. I know he'll be there next week though. But looking at this top 5, outside of Dean Brummett, there's not really a whole lot of names you immediately recognize as drivers that are contenders week in and week out. Jaden Carter, Everett Smith, they've shown some speed here and there. Tommy Ramanucci is a driver we don't see very much in this time slot. And then Brad Newman there in 5th, up a handful of spots. So very talented top 5. Pace lights are out, so we're gonna go back green flag racing. We'll go green with 50 laps to go. So about a 1/6 of the way through this one.
And as we're speaking about these drivers up towards the front, those at home not familiar with the numbering system in iRacing here in these official series, your iRating is dictating what your number is. So basically, the higher the number or the lower your number is, like your number 1, you have a higher iRating. So as you look at our top 5 there, we have a number 17 truck, Tommy Ramanucci, like you said, normally not in the time slot, trying to make some hay here in the number 17 truck, already in the top 5.
And for reference, number 16, Connor Truman, brought out that caution. So he's a little bit better than Ramanucci there in 4th. But Truman back out on track, got the repairs he needed, and will be rolling off 24th. So all 24 starters still on track. But Jaden Carter has the first spot. He's going to start this field and lead it back to green. Jaden Carter out front and away.
Carter with a great start. Now we got 4 trucks in the mix towards the front. As the number 17, Tommy Ramanucci, looks like he's trying to get to the inside there. He's going to fall in. Woo! Looks like Dean Brummett came across his nose as he tries to make the sail into the inside.
That was Smith. Everett Smith trying to get second back now from Dean Brummett. Bob was up the track and definitely throwing some haymakers here and getting real close quarters with the drivers around him. As Dean Brummett, you see there in that 3 truck, moved up to 2nd, trying to chase down Jaden Carter into 1. But Ramanucci is really working that bottom group.
As these drivers, it looks like it's really hard to pass maybe right now on the bottom. Up towards the front as these drivers are using the high line. The leader got a little looser on the exit of 4. Dean Brummett might have a run going into turn 1.
Tobin Keefe gets around Brad Newman there for 5th. Brummett right now playing it slow, not looking too low. Got a little bit out of step there with the rear end. Started to bobble a bit. We see a lot of drivers, they prefer this higher line, but it's not quite as stable as the bottom. So the bottom might have to come in. Keefe all the way there in 5th. You see for a split second was working that bottom. It falls back a little bit out of 4, and you see the battles all throughout this field are starting to heat up.
If you look there at the number 23 of Travis Wilson battling right there with the number 19 of Chris Gutierrez, and the number 5 truck back here of Dakota Long, I believe was on pit road as well, trying to make his way back towards the front.
They're up a handful of spots since that green flag. Restart Dakota Long. He's got white, gray, and the 4 truck right behind them as well. So both these drivers try and get some iRating, try and salvage what they can, and try and get some points for Dakota Long.
Wow, great 3-wide racing as you see right there. The number 6 truck getting a little loose on the exit. Going to be up towards the top. Is a big dive there by the number 10.
See Jeffrey Maconi. Now Maconi set up shop. Number 6 truck wrapping the high line for now was a fan favorite at the bottom before the yellow flag, so it kind of changed it up 7 spots already. Brandon Burko up 10 spots right in front of him in the number 9. I'm sorry, in the number 10. And they got Austin Kurtner there in front of them. A little bit of a late dive there by one truck.
Number 9, I believe.
Johnson, that Caleb Johnson, he has some heavy left rear damage already on that 9 machine. Not quite sure how that happened. We have a replay though. Maybe we will find out how it happened. Oh, big wreck going into turn 1 and 2 during the replay. You see the bobble there by Johnson. That's how he got the damage, but it doesn't matter because his truck is absolutely destroyed.
No, it's even worse than it was before we went to that replay. Wow, I'll have to check this next replay out. Looks like the 22, the 16 were involved.
I say that. We mentioned the multi-groove racing, and we're going to see this is a side effect gone wrong of that. It's going to start with the 22 truck of Zach Panzarella, and we have the replay here. Panzarella there on the bottom of the 22 comes up the middle of Latham Joyner in the 11, and then Caleb Johnson in the 9 has nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. I'm almost right in the wall right there. Fortunately, it was 3 trucks going for 2 spots on that top lane. Just not enough room.
4. Yeah, they were stuck at 4 for a minute there too. I mean, on board.
Oh, there. Looks like a little bobble right there. Looks like there's a little bobble there by Zach Panzarella there going into the turn that might have washed him up there.
Yeah, Panzarella had the run coming off of turn 4. Sent it in deep, just didn't quite get the truck as low as I think Joyner was expecting. And fortunately, heavy damage for those 3 trucks. Joyner has already taken it to the garage and has left the vicinity for the night after some choice wards in the tech shack.
As we went to replay, I believe the whole field came to pit road there. 20 laps in with 6 laps of cautions. They're really ready for tires.
Well, do you see who is going to actually get the lead through all this? It's going to be Dakota Long, who just came down about 8 laps ago and avoided that wreck. He was on the bottom 4 wide when they all went up into the wall there. So Dakota Long goes from about being on the flatbed and being a part of the wreckers category to having a shot at the checkers. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it'll be about 40 laps to go from Iowa.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the virtual but yet foggy Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. I am Brayton Lasher. Joining me in the booth tonight is Jeremy Briggs, DJ Line, working the controls as a producer. And you're watching the Maconi C Fixed Truck Series. And let me tell you, Dakota Long through pit stops has got himself back out front. Chris Gutierrez is outside. White Gray in 3rd. Tobin Keith in 4th. And Brad Newman rounds out your top 5 as they run. And trucks are starting to fall off a little bit here. We've had a couple quick yellows almost back to back, Jeremy, and I think these guys are eager to get racing.
It has really shuffled the field up. I feel like we've had pretty much the dominant trucks kind of mixed in the top 10 now, towards just outside the top 5. So we'll see if those dominant trucks can find their way back to the front. Like I said, there was about 4 trucks that would pull themselves away on the run, and the field kind of stayed bunched up. But obviously, the field kind of flip-flopped here in the top 10. We'll see if the drivers can manage their way to get around. It's been pretty hard to pass here.
Jaden Carter in the 1, Dean Brummett in the 3, and Everett A. Smith in the 8 have been the ones to watch all night long. They took 4 tires. Everyone else in front of them has either taken 2 or stayed out, so Carter will be rolling off here in 7th. But Dakota Long and Gutierrez on the front row. Long leading the field to green for the first time tonight. And he's going to get the green flag, and we are coming back racing with 40 laps to go.
A lot of the drivers towards the mid-pack to back, not wasting any time, trying to get towards the top and trying to get around these slower trucks.
A lot of trucks damaged throughout this field. Dakota Long pulling away.
Yellow already.
Just like, yeah, We are going to re-rack them. We're going to restack them for a wreck in the back. I believe Austin Kurtner might have had something to do with it.
Everybody's still rolling, so we'll take a look at this replay.
Yeah, he was, Austin Kurtner in the 7. Look at that green and pink truck on the very, very bottom there. Goes in the corner and just getting drove through, it looks like. Not sure who was doing the driving through. I believe it was Brandon Tuberco. It was in that 10, and sends Kurtner around. So sometimes it's a hammer, sometimes it's a nail, sometimes they're flying a windshield, and in this case,
oh,
Kurtner,
right there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was a little mad by that little door, but I don't know if anybody else got any damage about this, but definitely might have been a little unhappy.
Yeah, they did a great job getting around it, but sometimes it's a nail, sometimes it's a hammer, and Austin Kurtner just is flying the windshield in this case. Nothing I think he could have really done differently there. Some drivers coming down, I don't think they're taking tires, maybe just getting some damage fixed. We've seen these two drivers being incidents already tonight a little bit. That's Zach Panzarella and Connor Truman. Truman is flying down pit lane.
Looks like Brummett, Carter, and Smith there. Still kind of just outside the top 5, but now find themselves in 6th and 7th. So we'll see how this plans out. They might be up to 5th now, but
that was interesting. Connor Truman just went down pit lane at 58, 59 miles an hour. Pit speed here, reminder, is 40 miles an hour. Truman has not gotten a penalty for it. So that is interesting to say, for the lack of a better term. And meanwhile, Dakota Long is staying out front here. As we mentioned right before we went back racing, it's become a bit of a, I don't want to say a caution fest, but 2 quick cautions now back to back has not eliminated any cars, but definitely has damaged them.
now we're gonna have some slower traffic on the track. Obviously, we'll see if we get a long green flag run and see if that plays into the lead battle, because if the lap traffic decides to stay up towards the top, these drivers have been having trouble making passes on the bottom here early on. Might be hard for leaders to find their way around.
I think that bottom is definitely a favorite. Once you get into the run, a lot of drivers like to start out on the top there, but it takes a little bit for that bottom to get worked in. The way we're having caution after a handful of laps and then another caution, definitely not going to allow that bottom a chance to really get the grip that it needs for drivers to work it the way they want to.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I also believe a lot of these trucks are not getting their tires really up to temperature, so we're not getting a lot of that comers and goers effect yet here early on, and we'll have to give it another try here. I believe we should be coming to the 1 to green. We'll have to see if these pace car lights get extinguished.
Say the pace car driver there eager to flip and switch off, and he does. So we're gonna get double file through the trial this time. We mentioned in the pre-race show, this track a bit of like a D-shaped cookie cutter, very unique in the short track sense. You never really straighten your wheel out going down the front straightaway. It has a little bit of curvature there, and the back stretch you can finally get it going straight again. So very, very unique, very fun, very fast, and a fan favorite track here, Iowa Speedway.
And not just the left and right aspect of it too. There's a lot of bumps, a lot of character into this track, and definitely it leads to a lot of great racing. We've seen early on drivers having trouble getting over some of those bumps, but we'll see if these drivers can get over those humps and get us some green flag racing. We're getting ready to come to the green.
Got some green flag racing, some great racing coming right up. They're going to be taking the green flag with 34 laps to go, just shy of halfway. Dakota Long and to his outside is Wyatt A. Gray, but Long leads the field for the restart zone. Green flag is out for the 2nd time for Dakota Long.
Leaders having great restarts as they're side by side there for a second. Now one truck getting ahead there. Now we're side by side for 3rd. It looks like the 4 trucks going to find a way to 2nd.
That Dean Brummett, they're in 3rd, working the bottom. They're the highest of your front runners before the caution cycle started here. Trying to steal 2nd from Tobin Keith, not able to do so. Going into turn 1 and get right back in line on that high side and get another opportunity at it coming off of 2 here.
The 2 truck slides right up there. Oh, we got one getting loose down the back stretch.
We're loose.
Oh,
White, Gray bombing.
Up here. Oh my goodness, we got one truck. It's the one truck on the back stretch that has spun out.
Jaden Carter, your pole sitter tonight, has led the most laps of anyone, has a spin there coming off a turn 2, able to get it going, no caution yet. You saw another bobble by Wyatt A. Gray, as though he's able to maintain that spot in the top 10, but Carter is coming down pit lane from a great run to a not so good run at all for Jaden Carter. His night's going to end a little bit early.
The battle continues on back here between the 6 of Maconi and the 4 of Wyatt Gray. They're just on the edge of the top 10. Maconi just finding himself inside now. They're battling for the 9th and 10th position.
And Dakota Long is longing for that battle behind him to keep happening all throughout the field. To see Wyatt Gray had that bob a couple laps ago, trying to work his way back up through the field. He's got that 24 of Andrew Sharp now behind him, was beside him. Sharp going deep to his inside. So Gray in the 4, Sharp in the 24, and then Jeffrey Maconi there in the 6.
Great battle on here. It looks like a lot of these drivers finally starting to get some great green flag racing as we ride on board here with Andrew Sharp. The number 24 truck finding himself right there on the edge of the top 10, having a good run.
Looking sharp there, running the bottom. He's got Derek Winter goes around his outside, bringing a bit of a coldness to the racetrack here. So Sharp running a little bit higher now up the track than he has been the last couple laps. I think he realized he was bleeding too much there on the bottom, just trying to slow down the bleeding. He's got Nathan Davis next in line, eager to pass him, I'm sure, but I think Sharp might finally be able to build some momentum up here.
As we take a look back up front, we look at the number 3 there of Dean Brummett, the 12 of Toby Keefe, and Dakota Long, our leader. Dakota Long has taken the lead there after some great pit strategy to find himself up towards the front. Dean Brummett falling back just a little bit, taking 4 tires on a pit stop when Dakota Long stayed out. I believe Dakota Long might have about 8 laps of green flag racing on his tire. I'm not sure of the exact math of that. But as you can see here, the number 3 truck now putting the heat on the number 12.
Like you were saying there, lap 10 caution comes out around lap 10 there. Dakota Long comes down, takes fresh tires from inside the top 10. The entire field stays out. About 5 laps later, we get another quick caution. The entire field goes down pit lane, and Dakota Long finds himself up front with fresh tires. And so the entire field is on the very fresh tires and very equal tires. So Dakota Long, he's had speed all season long. We saw that last season as well. Had a great points run. I believe a top 5 points on there for Dakota Long. But the runs are being made everywhere, as well as the sends. Brennan Chaburko trying to send it on the inside of Matt Kosher and not quite able to get there coming off turn 4.
Brennan Chaburko and Matt Kosher right here, they are really battling. I mean, they're trying to use that arrow, thing to try to get the truck in front of them. It's like an arrow push, the little bubble, and these drivers are really getting on the edges. We got 25 now, coming to 24 laps to go. This might have a little bit of green flag feel to it right here. These drivers are going to start getting desperate for their passes as we look at the number 8 truck right there of Everett Smith.
One of the longest green flag runs of the night. Looking back up front, Keith looks low for a split second, maybe try and find some clean air, running a little bit lower on the track. If you run up by the wall here in 3 and 4, it's nowhere near as bumpy as 1 and 2. You can run that high lane in 1 and 2, but it comes with some risk.
You can see drivers all trying to figure out different lines now up towards the front, and then we look further back here. The number 13 truck of Matt Kusher with a 10 of Brandon Chaburko. They've been swapping positions.
Keeping to the wall there in second. Bobble coming off a turn 2 is going to allow Dean Brummett to build a run. Dean Brummett takes a run through 3 and 4. Crossover move by Keith to try and go second back. Not able to get clear. Now he is going in the 1. But Dean Brummett with a bit of a late. Keith goes up the block. Inches away from the wall, inches away from Tobin Keith. Dean Brummett trying to make it stick, and he does.
Keith was just waiting for a spotter to say he was clear, and he just couldn't hear it. He's clear now. Is he going to be able to get back up in front? But that 3 is going to have the momentum on the top.
Had a huge run out of the corner for Dean Brummett. Now looking inside, crossover move off of turn 4. Carries momentum into turn 1. Washes up a little bit, washes up in front of Tobin Keith. Now Keith is going to do the exact same move that Brummett just did to him. Come off of turn 2. No, he's going to look to stay in line and see if maybe Dean Brummett can go and chase down Dakota Long and let those two wear their tires out, wear their stuff out.
We'll have to keep an eye on the interval between Long and Brummett up front to see if the clean air is king. As we look back here between the 2, the 8, the 17, and the 10. Man, they are all under a blanket, just inches away from each other. Oh, it might have been slight contact right there between Tommy Romanucci and Brandon Chaburko.
That Romanucci trying to work his way back into the top 5 as well. He was running well inside the top 5 before that caution cycle started to try and get around Everett Smith, who was second. And they're both putting a bumper to Brad Newman there in the 2. Bump tap, bump tap, bump tap, multiple taps there through the corner to Newman. Definitely what a wheelman there Brad Newman was able to hang on to it. I thought it was going around there about 3 or 4 different times. We're bump drafting down this front straightaway here. What truck are we at, Jeremy?
I say this one is an 8th mile. Oh, they got him! Oh no!
Down the track, car sliding in, still sliding in. Maconi gets involved somehow, some way. But man, we have absolutely destroyed 5 or 6 good trucks here, and
they had some good battle
see what
going
happens.
on. This was a great battle between these 4 trucks. To see what happened between Romanucci and the 2 of Brad Newman.
Newman there in the 2, Romanucci in the 17. They're gonna come off a turn 2 run out of real estate.
Oh, Romanucci just came up. I'm not sure if the 2 knew he was going to be coming that far up. I think the 17 keeps coming down the track right across the nose of Maconi there.
I said Maconi did a great job at checking up. And like, I thought he had it clear. I think he thought he had it cleared. And then, I don't know, Romanucci just goes sliding down the track.
Here's a great seat. Here's a great seat. Oh, the 10 truck was loose too, man. These drivers had their hands full. Almost clear, not clear.
Yeah, they're really rolling 30, 40 miles an hour. There's nowhere to go for Jeff Maconi. A couple other drivers, I think, barely made a buy or got a little bit of quarter panel damage. So field coming down, taking our last set tires. One driver staying out low. It's Jaden Carter. He's 12 laps down. So he's trying to get a couple of laps back. So all your lead lap cars have all cycled down pit lane, it looks like. A couple drivers getting a wave around. Travis Wilson get back on the lead lap. Jeffrey Maconi going to try and win the race out of pit lane, maybe. Someone else came on in front of him. I think Dean Brummett, Tobin Keefe, and then Jeffrey Maconi are their drivers winning the race off the pit lane. So I don't know if Jeff took 2 tires there, but to go from wreckers to now having a decent shot, getting a checkered flag here, Jeff Maconi with a 2-tire strategy.
We'll have to see how this plays out. Maybe we'll see if we can catch a word here real quick with Jeff and see how his truck is running. Jeff, it's the boys in the booth. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm feeling good. I got a little bit of damage, but honestly, I think it's going to all come out in the wash.
Yeah, the right side 2-stop tire strategy. How are you feeling here? We'll go green with about 13 laps to go. Do you think you can hang on?
Absolutely. I was making up time running the bottom there. It's going to be mayhem to the end, and always bet on the late race cautions. I think we're going to see some action here, and I would much rather have the track position. And plus, I was feeling tight with the way I was running it. Left side tires are still in really good shape, so yeah, 2 tires, added a little bit of fuel to account for that damage because the 17 wanted to roll from, I mean, heck, he rolled practically from Tennessee to Iowa, so I don't know what he was doing, but it's all good.
And then one final question before we let it go. I'm sure you're tired of hearing this after this past weekend, but what's your water temperature looking like?
Water right now is 140 on the gauge.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for taking time to speak with us, Jeff, and we'll let you get back at it.
Appreciate it, guys.
Have a good one, Jeff. Jeff Maconi, man.
For those that didn't know, Jeff Maconi made his late model debut, or his stock car debut, as a matter of fact, at Winchester Speedway this past weekend with the CRA late model Sportsman Series. Had a pretty good outing, and I had the opportunity to spot for him for a couple of practice and qualifying sessions, and that was my favorite sentence was, what's your water temp look like?
Just keep saying it over and over again, almost say it in your dreams. I'm sure he was probably hearing that for a while.
Say that. We talked about drivers staying out low. Jaden Carter out front. 12 laps down though. So he's gonna get the wave around, and I'll put Dean Brummett, Tobin Keefe, and then Jeffrey Maconi in your top 3. Dakota Long gets up to 4th, and Everett A. Smith there right out your top 5. So some pretty stout drivers here in top 5.
We got some different strategies up front as well. Not sure if any. Looks like the truck there. It might be Everett Smith, and 5th might be another truck with damage. As we look at the rest of it, it's pretty foggy here. As the pace car lights are off. Track temp only 72 degrees. The wind is now kicked up to 17 miles an hour. I can't remember what we started at. I think it was 14 miles an hour. So wind's picked up. It's overcast. Let's see what picks up on the track.
I hope the Casey's down the street's doing okay. I don't know how you can sell pizza with this kind of weather.
And don't want to lose your pizza.
And definitely not by any means. I know Dean Brummer does not want to lose this race. He'll take the green flag coming at 12 laps to go, rolling down the backstretch. Hopefully, I know he's hoping it's for the final time. But if anyone wants to get a win here in this broadcast time slot, it's going to be that 6 truck behind him with Jeff Maconi.
We'll have to see what Jeff's got here. With a little bit of damage, just 2-tire strategy, we'll see how it plays out for him.
Yep, Dean Brummett on the front row. Tobin keeps his outside. Brummett, for the first time tonight, leads the field to green, and off and away we go. 12 laps to go.
Oh, Tobin Keefe, when not a very good restart. Our truck got to his outside before they even got to the start-finish line.
That's going to move Dakota Longett from nowhere to second. Maconi's bobbing him back there, falls back to fourth. Tobin Keefe gets around him there in third. And Everett A. Smith coming up, now trying to get around Jeff Maconi in the 6th as well. It's a bit of a bobble there for the drivers, all trying to figure out who's going to steal second.
Dakota Long wasted no time getting to the front. Speaking of front, we'll take a look at this quick replay. See how the just not go. Dakota Long just turns right and goes. The number 10 truck follows along.
Chaburko there in the 10, great job going 3-4 wide, trying to pick up some spots there. Driver Joe trying, a bit of a bobble by Chaburko. I saw him slow run, wasn't sure what happened.
Oh man, that's pretty heavy wall contact as well.
I'll say that. He goes from 4th all the way outside the top 10 or so. Chaburko now in the 14th spot.
Easy does it there, Brayton. As we've got 10 laps to go. But Dean Brummett's got nothing to worry about. He's almost got himself out to a second lead over Dakota Long as we look at the number 15 truck here of Jay Riot. Now finds himself right here on the edge of the top 10 in 9th place with Andrew Sharp right there in the 24 truck in 10th. We get the 7 truck of Austin Kurtner, and we got Wyatt Great there in the 4 truck in 7th.
Remember, Kurtner had a bit of an incident a couple of laps ago. Worked his way back up inside the top 10. Drivers had themselves an incident. Jeff Maconi taps the wall a little bit coming off of turn 4. Still hangs on that 4th spot. We've got 8 laps to go, and Dakota Long is 7/10 back though in second. And he's picking off a 10th lap. I think we're going to have a heck of a battle for the lead here in a couple laps.
Dakota Long driving the wheels off this thing. Looks like Dean Brummett with a slight bobble there to the middle of 3 and 4. This is going to be one heck of a battle. We're almost down to a half a second.
Yeah. This 10th and a half gain last time by. Dakota Long goes to the bottom. Coming to 6 laps to go. He's going to make up some ground. He got one slow roll in front of them. That's Travis Wilson off of pit road. So lap traffic now enters the picture. Dirty air across Dean Brummett's nose.
And this is worst case scenario right now for Dean Brummett with that lap traffic right in front of him here with 6 laps to go. Hopefully lap traffic gets out of the way because the leaders are coming, and we're going to have a battle for a lead here coming very shortly as Dakota Long has got the moves.
That momentum has built the last couple laps of Dakota Long, and the momentum has put him here contending for the lead. Coming off of turn 4, 5 laps to go, and Dakota Long is there.
Dakota Long went from 1 second back, just drove right up to the back bumper of the number 3 truck, trying to get all the cleaner on his nose. He's right there to the back bumper of the number 3. He's going to go side by side into 3 and 4.
Looking inside for the race lead, under 5 laps to go. Dakota Long slides up. Dean Brummett gets the momentum off of turn 4. Not able to pull the crossover move yet. Now he does across the start finish line. Leader last time by Dakota Long.
I don't think Dean Brummett can get there for the crossover. He's not going to get there. Dakota Long is going to drive away with the lead here, coming to 3 laps to go.
And Dean Brummett starts to fall back a little bit. Tobin Keefe in third, a second back. Dakota Long is trying to find victory lane for the first time in a couple seasons on the broadcast time slot, and he is sitting pretty right now.
As we take a quick look back right here, is Jeffrey Maconi battling there with the number 20 of Jonathan Taylor. They are right on the back edge of the top 5, both with little tail waggles.
And drivers trying to get what little spots they can, and Dakota Long is in the best seat in the house. You see them behind him, though. It looks like they'll try and bring out a caution, but white flag in the air for Dakota Long if he can make it through a couple more corners.
Like you said earlier on, Jeffrey Maconi was 30th in points in the Fixed Series, so any position right now is going to be huge to try to get his climb back to the top of the leaderboard as we come out of turn 3 and 4, coming to the white flag for Dakota Long.
Dakota Long has a quarter mile to go. 6/10 separate him and Dean Brummett. Dean Brummett's going to find something. He's got to do it now. No lap traffic in front of him. No dirty air in front of him. Dakota Long sitting pretty, going through 3 and 4 for the final time tonight from 4th on the starting grid. Plays the pit strategy beautifully. It's going to look even more beautifully in victory lane. Checkered flag is up for Dakota Long.
Maconi barely getting there in 4th. What a great battle there to the end of the 6 in the 20 truck. Dean Brummett finished 2nd, Tobin Keefe 3rd, and like I said, Maconi and Taylor running our top 5. What a battle at the end, man, Brad. That was a great battle.
Yeah, battle for the win, battle for every spot. Basically, inside the top 10 there, all comes down to the wire. But Dakota Long, let me tell you, he is about to burn it down.
Extremely clean racing, too, to the end. That was great to see throughout the field.
Yeah, you got to look back and see where Dakota Long really succeeded there. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll go through results and talk to any of our podium finishers.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the virtual Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. Once again, I am Brayton Lasser. Joining me in the booth tonight was Jeremy Briggs with DJ Lyon working the controls as a producer. And it came down in the final couple laps, but Dakota Long able to find victory lane for the first time in multiple seasons, I believe, for the broadcast time slot. And full results right here, right now. Dean Brummett, the 2023 Season 4 champion, finished the 2nd. Tobin Keith, great run for him. Around at the podium, Jeffrey Maconi has another great run. There's 2 tires definitely worked out for him to finish 4th. Johnson Taylor finished 5th. Derek Winter there in 6th. White Gray 7th. Austin Kurtner goes from spinning to finishing well inside the top 10. He'll finish 8th there. Andrew J. Sharp in 9th, and Jay Riot. Quiet night, no riots for him to finish 10th.
Chris Gutierrez there in 11th, and you got Brandon Trubruco there in 12th. Nathan Davis, who started 22nd, finds himself in 13th. Jesse Rotten there in 14th, and 15th is Zach Panzarella. Everett Smith, who was up towards the front for a pretty good chunk of this race, finds himself finishing in 16th. Tommy Romanucci there in 17th. Man, he had a good run going there in the top 5, and unfortunately got cut short with a wreck. Brad Newman was 18th. And then the drivers laps down here. Travis Wilson was 3 laps down. Jaden Carter, who was up towards the front as well, finishes 20th, 12 laps down. Matt Kocher, 21st, 18 laps down. Connor Truman, 22nd. Caleb Johnson, 23rd. Nathan Joyner, 24th.
Yeah, I saw a couple inches, take out the drivers there at the bottom, but we got a couple drivers inside the top 5. We're going to get a quick interview here with Dakota Long. You're a winner tonight. Dakota, you finished top 10 in points the last couple seasons, and you've yet to win, to my knowledge, yet to win a race in the broadcasted time slot. You finally get it done. You have to beat the 2023 Season 4 champion, Dean Brumman, to do it. So how'd you do it?
Yeah, man. Going into that race, I thought I had the pace to kind of compete with anybody. I felt like, and just was able to at the start of the race. Ended up getting really loose and saving it, and didn't junk it. And then that early caution come out like around lap 7. I was like, well, I'm gonna pit, take 4, and then try to jump everybody when they come back in if we get another caution. Was able to, and felt really good holding them off. And then another late caution come out, and people took 2, and just got a really good restart there. Tobin looked like he kind of didn't go really, and I just had to get to the outside before I ended up wrecking him, and was able to set my sights on Dean and run him down.
As you mentioned running down Dean Brumman, they were mentioning as a champion in the past year or so. You've ran for multiple championships here in the Maconi C Fixed Series, and we've talked to you plenty of times on the podium, just not been able to find the victory lane spot, or the final number 1, the top podium spot as far as the broadcast time slot goes. And we got plenty of wins for the regular season. And tell us, though, about that points battle you've been building up here. I mean, they're going to make up a ton of time on Dean Brumman. And looking at the stats as they run, you are currently 5th in points, only 130 points out of a championship.
Yeah, man. I've kind of really, believe it or not, kind of tried to jump to the C Open, that kind of side of things, and still kind of back and forth running C Fixed. Not completely done with it, but yeah, I think I'm too far out to run them down this season. But who knows? We're definitely gonna. Since we're this close, we're going to at least try to come back out a few nights a week and try to gain on them. We'll see what we can do.
Of course. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank iRacing and you guys for putting it on, Maconi for putting it on, and just want to thank, that was a good, clean race, the cleanest race we've had at Iowa all week. So shout out to everybody that was in that race.
Yeah, well, thank you, Dakota Long, and congratulations on your win here tonight.
Sir, thank y'all. Y'all take care.
Dakota Long, you're a winner, led 31 laps over half the race. Coming up, though, talking with Jeremy, is the second place driver, Dean Brumman.
Hey, Dean Brumman. Dean Brumman, how's it going? It's going, man. Welcome to the booth, man. This was some really great racing up front between you and Dakota Long and Tobin Keefe there. You drivers all put on some great, clean racing. You come in here as the points leader for the C Fixed. Hopefully this helps continue to build that momentum. What was your night like?
It was fun. Like the trucks, the overhaul that they've done recently on iRacing has taken a lot of getting used to, and I mean a lot of getting used to. And I don't ever think once in the past that I ever ran a short track race where a truck wanted to hang the car on the right rear, and tonight it actually did. And I mean, it was intense. Cold tires, you really had to be careful. You really had to be careful of your lane. But Iowa is such a hard place to pass. So, once you had your first pit stop that came down, I took 4, just knowing how much length was left in the race. And I felt fairly good running back first and second, and had a real good fight. I think it was with Tobin throwing sliders left and right. And then once that was done, started easing back into Dakota, and I felt like I'd saved just enough to try to take 2 at the end, and I guess 10 laps was just long enough. I was kind of thinking that if I took 2, got in front, more than likely somebody through the field was gonna get a little loosey-goosey on 4 tires, but they kept it underneath them, and Dakota ran me back down. And I mean, when you're on 2 and they're on 4, there's just not much fight you can put to them.
Like you said, not much fight you could put to them, but man, you guys kept it clean all the way to the end, and that was some great racing. Who you got to thank for getting you here tonight?
I just got to thank iRacing and Chevrolet and Go Vols, and just a great group of people to try to get me here. And it's different than it is a year ago when I was able to win that championship for season 4. Have a new baby in the house, so these races are much fewer and much farther between. So a lot of years of past experience at these tracks definitely goes a long way for me right now.
Well, congratulations on the new child in the house, and hopefully we'll speak to you again here next week.
Hey, we'll see you guys next week. Have fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
That was Dean Brummett. Started up front inside the top 3 and finished there as well. And we have one driver we talked to before that final restart, but that 2-tire strategy was going to be able to hang on, and he does. Jeff Maconi finished 4th tonight. Tell us about that finish there.
I finally had a half-decent finish in one of these races. I have been having a really rough season. I missed all of week 1 because I was traveling doing something. I forget what. I had a terrible run in Las Vegas. I had a terrible week and like week 2. So I am really glad to have actually scored some points. And yeah, I got super, super loose and almost wiped out second and third when I was going off of turn 2 on that first lap, and then got my head on straight and just sort of held on and had a really great battle with, I think it was the 20 car. And that was a ton of fun racing with him. So definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, and you had a drag racer off of turn 4. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had Logan, who was in there spotting for me, helping me out. And he, for the couple laps before that, was like, hey, you're good. You're making time. Defend the top. And then with 2 laps ago, he goes, pinch him, or 3 laps ago, he goes, pinch him as much as you can. And I tried to go to like the middle, and it just wouldn't turn down. And I'm like, this is okay. I guess I'm running the top. And then on the last lap through, I got the really good run off of 1 and 2. And then in 3 and 4, he goes, you got to pinch him. And I just was cranking the wheel all the way down. And he's coming off 4. He goes, it's a drag race. Get him. And barely held on to 4th place, but got some really good points. Kind of wish I had gotten 3rd place, but just didn't have the tires, and definitely had a lot of fun though.
Definitely a great point tonight for you indeed. Anybody you want to thank?
Got to thank all of you guys for putting on an awesome show. Everyone at iRacing for putting us on their channels. It's really fun to be able to broadcast these official series races. A lot of people will never get the chance to run up in like Coke or Road to Pro and the other races that we broadcast onto here, or the other races that are broadcast onto here, I should say. And the fact that anyone can jump into a C Fixed and run top split and get on the channel is pretty darn cool. So thank you to them for that. Thank you to everyone that was on the car at Winchester. I had an awesome time out there. Goat Locker Racing, Yesteryear Racing, everyone on board. I can't go through all of them, unfortunately. But yeah, I am just really happy to have come out of this with a good finish, and think I can carry that momentum through the rest of the season and hopefully get another top 10 in points. I think I was top 10 last season.
Yep. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us, Jeff, and thank you for all to do. But we got to give you the boot here and get on the exit of the show here.
Sounds good. Good luck, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm sure everyone's going to say appreciate it. Next week, we go to Miami-Dade County. Jeremy Briggs, Homestead, Miami.
Homestead, Miami, another track here, is also progressive banking. I'm really excited. This will be a great 1.5-mile race for these drivers. The drafting you have to do into these turns, 4 wide through the turns. It's going to be some great racing here, Brayton.
It's going to be a great race indeed. We saw some great racing here tonight. I'm sure it's going to continue all throughout the rest of the season. Thank you, though, to our race sponsor, Maconi C Fixed Series, as well to all of our viewers for tuning in tonight. Calling an action night with myself, Brayton Laster, alongside me was Jeremy Briggs in the booth with DJ Line producing. Coming along, able to find Victor Lane for the first time in a broadcast time slot in the past couple of seasons. And thank you, though, to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. I saw him take that Victory Lane celebration to you on your screens at home. We hope you'll stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next race. And thank you to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment, and we will see you next time.